Darlings, I'm going to do a super quick bit of that was taken out of my video for YouTube to explain Dionysus, and I want to keep it really simple. So I'm going to explain this picture and the Dionysus, and just to remind you that on my blog that goes on my site, this is from 2021. So this is from 3 years ago. So this is the attempted assassination of Trump in Butler. This is the butler who serves the wine. It's Bacchus. It's Bacchus, it's Dionysus, it's Uranus, and these old articles, and there are loads of them, go into detail. This is the Green Mile, this is the Gap, this is Pierre, Paul and Jack. Jupiter, so I'll add this. This is Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is Mercury and Jupiter, the rulers of the skull and bone mutable cross, and the mutable cross is now closing. It's now closing, so we rise Jack, the green man, the green line in the middle. This is Jack. He's got his, there's the pineal gland, there's the Pierre, that's Peter and Paul. Pete and Paul. Pierre, the stone, the orb and the spectre. And the torch is the little man, the goblin at the back. This is the Joker, this is the green man, this is Pan that sits between the pole and the eye. It's the bird, it's the torch, it's the gap, it's the Milky Way gap that we are passing through. And there you have, so the cherry orchard. This was why we had on Trafalgar Square, and then on the 27th we had the big British patriotic movement. So you've got, here is Dionysus. This is the, I didn't talk about that in my video yesterday. This image comes from the famous garden. Okay, it's the Earthly Delights. Comes from the Earthly Delights from Dante and the painting. So if can we open it up a little bit more to see the Earthly Delights? That's what the Aintree horse race is all about. It's the N tree, the North Pole, the Polaris. The Aintree is the Anus, the anus, it's the N. I live in Aignan. And it is the, you know, the circuit, the circus. We had Dujardin with her whip, the circus. So here we've got 9 people, and below we've got 12. So Pete and Paul, Pisces, the 12th house, and the 9th house, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, Gemini is the masculine axis, and Pisces, Virgo is the feminine axis. So you have Corona and Victor, but Jesus is really Victoria, it's feminine axis. And you have the masculine axis, you've got Sagittarius, Dionysus, Batman, ruled by Jupiter, and that's Valentine and Cupid, Mercury, Gemini opposite. So 3rd house, 6th house, 9th house, 12th house, 3, 6, 9. Nikola Tesla. That's why Nikola Bully went missing on the 1st, the 27th of the 1st, 2023. The last time Mars was in Jupiter. And then we have the opening of the Olympics and the British bullies, the fight between Christianity, between the two energies of France and England. You've got the patriot. It's the famous picture I always show you. Okay, so there's the coin. This is what we've got. They've fully put this into place now. We've got the contrast, the two corners, British liberty, French liberty, Christ and the devil, the lover card, Gemini, and Sagittarius, Jupiter, as the devil card. So the Lovers is 6 and the Devil is 15. That's 6 6. That's 6 9. That's 9 6. That's always the play of the moon and the 2 crescents, and you have to find the 4 corners, the 4 phases between the new moon, the full moon, the 2 half moons. You get a square, and it's the squaring of the circle and finding the dark side of the moon. They never want you to get past the beast at the back of your neck, for the English and the French to acknowledge the anima and the animus, the sun and the moon, and the Mars and the Venus. And, you know, this is the French Revolution was the last time that Pluto was. So let's put the date of the French. Okay, so it's 1789. 1789. So Pluto was in Capricorn in 1786. And Pluto, where was Pluto in 1789? So 1789, Pluto was bang. He was just at the end of Capricorn. And Pluto is now at the beginning of Capricorn. So he was bang in the middle of the twin peaks. This is Saturn's reign. It's the reign of Saturn. If you look at Aquarius, you've got, yeah, I'll just explain that. I won't get into that right now because I'll confuse you. But Pluto is right at the end of Capricorn for the French Revolution. So between Aquarius, Father Air, and Mother Earth, the true twin peaks energy, when we close the wheel, we leave Pete. Jupiter rules Pisces, Jupiter rules Sagittarius, the Leo da Vinci cross, Pisces, Jupiter opposite, Virgo, Mercury, feminine axis, Corona and Victoria, the Olympics. We had the moon. The moon was right on that V for victory. And this little Dionysus man, he gives you the 2 directions of the wheel. So I've got beetroot on my fingers. I've made a beetroot juice. It's incredibly hot. It's now 35 and it's just 2 o'clock. We're going to go up to 45 today. So we're hiding in the house. Everything closed. We had to get all the work done this morning. So moon in the home of Pisces. Mars, we have, everybody knows, this is the decapitation. This is, we've had all the planets going past Uranus. Uranus hasn't been here since 1940. And we've just had the passage of all the fast moving inner planets past Uranus. We had the opening of the war. Israel, Isis, Ra, Venus, Mars, and the light, the stone, turn to lead, or you get past this beast, you get past this back of your neck, you get through from the pole to the top of the spine. So Jupiter is right now on the bullseye. Nicolas Bully went missing and then was found on the 19th in the river the last time that Mars was here, which I showed in detail. So we're making it to this stump. We've got this stump in the Milky Way gap, the wand of Orion. And now the summer solstice, the 216666, to find that cap, that cornerstone. This is Capella. Here's Capella. Capella gets decapitated. This is the Silver Gate. And opposite we have Ophiuchus between Sagittarius and Scorpio in the Golden Gate. And we've got this 100-year gap until Scorpio is fully going to take the new MC. And for the moment we've got this gap, this 100-year gap of Dionysus, of Pierre, Paul and rising Jack. So until people can make that proper between full expansion, Leonardo da Vinci, Jupiter, back to contraction, you have to find that middle ground. And that's what all this is about. And we've still got people fighting about Christianity and Satanism when there is that critical point in the middle. So back to that post. So this Last Supper explained. So there's only 9 people. This is the gangster side, this is the masculine, this is Sagittarius, and below we have 12th house, Pisces, Jesus, grace. From grace to the gas, from the beach, Jesus, to the bitch, from the saints to the gangsters. And you have to find your middle ground, and that's it. So I explain all that here. So this is Valentine and Cupid, masculine axis, red and yellow, air, and so America, red, yellow, Asia. And what are they going to give you? They're going to give you the Buddhas. That's what Hare Krishna, that's what George Harris, this is what this Harris coming in, the new American, she's showing you the Hare Krishna. And there's nothing, which is the trunk. It's just, again, the elephant, the hierophant, the trunk, the PONS Brooks at the back of your neck, the little gnome. So these pictures will explain. Here they are holding the stump at the back. This is the elephant's stump. Here's Orion showing you the keeper of the 4 corners is always at Sirius. And he's showing you the Bethlehem star, which we had in 2020 when we had the great conjunction on the winter solstice. So these are Lars's pictures. This is the correct Saturn merging with Aquarius and Capricorn, and Mars and Venus, Aries and Taurus. And here, so this is all the fixed cross closing with the cardinal cross. Here we've got Mars and Venus, we've got Scorpio and Libra, and down here we've got the closing of the Sun and the Moon, Cancer and Leo, and above Saturn opposite. So, and there we've got the true mutable cross, Jupiter and Mercury in the middle, and here is what's going on now. The fate merging, Jupiter taking Capricorn, Venus with Mercury, Jupiter with Mars. There's your Ukraine. So this picture as well is showing you the horizon, the table, the dinner table is the horizon, and in the center you've got the middle of the Ukraine. You've got the Putin, the whore eyes on the horizon, and Christ the crane, which gives you the cross. So they're giving you this gap, this cross in the galactic gap. It's Ukraine, Putin. So this is the gap between Sagittarius and Scorpio, between Taurus and Gemini. You've got the green gap, and here you've got the logo of Fukius. You've got Mars and Venus, and they merge with little Mercury. And they've got the green mile between red and blue. That's why the Queen in green leads away from lead to gold. Paddington Bear, which is just PB, the 6 and the 9. Here's your Leonardo da Vinci, full expansion. The umbrella, it goes from 12 back to 8. It's the diaphragm, it's the opening and the closing of the breathing. So she's worshipping Taurus in this gap, Venus, Mars and Jupiter taking the Sun. This is the compass, the G. Here is the Lucifer sigil, and here is this, so this gap between the full expansion of Jupiter back to the closure of Saturn. And there you see the true fixed and cardinal, fixed and cardinal, fixed and cardinal. And here you have the mutable cross. You've got to find that middle ground as we go through. So that is now, the summer solstice now begins in Taurus. So critical points. These 2 suppers are showing you the, you know, the 2 extremes from Christ and the Antichrist. Single, you can read that. Jupiter rules the mutable cross. Jupiter rules Pisces, Sagittarius. Mercury rules Gemini, Virgo. Jack and Jill have to make it up the hill to the pail of water, Aquarius, and to Capricorn as the sun and the moon merge. Find that fifth element. It's the fifth element. Mutable cross. So the Hierophant, the Joker, his trunk. Here is the Hierophant. This is this area between the temples. You've got the elephant, you've got the gnome, and we've got all the Buddhas and the New Agers and the Hare Krishnas. This is the same thing. It's the apostrophe, it's the six, it's the larvae, it's the back, it's the Solomon gates, and you've got to transmute from the larvae. You've got to make that cycle from the metamorphosis from the larvae back to the, from the caterpillar to the butterfly. It's, you know, being able to make that transcendence. Only Pisces can give you that transcendence. There's nothing wrong with Jupiter. So the fixed cross, we've got Jupiter currently in Taurus, and we've now got Mercury in Leo. So the big French swimmer is called Leo Marchand. He's called Leon. This is to play on Elon. So you've got Mercury and Jupiter in the homes of Venus and the Sun. And that's what I'm explaining, is that Mars should work with the Sun and Venus should work with the Moon. They're now creating this mixture between Venus, Taurus, feminine, and the Sun, masculine. So Mercury is in Leo and he is going to go retrograde. So we're going to have a new black moon on the 4th, on 1984. The black moon, and we're going to have Venus, the ruler here, Mars and Jupiter. Mars will be back on Aldebaran. As for the disappearance of Nikola Nikola Tesla is 369, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius. They don't ever let you get past that spiritual transformation. The Olympics opened with the moon here. We've got the North Node here. We've got Chiron just in between Pisces and Aries. Mars rules Scorpio, the other fixed cross, and Saturn rules Aquarius. So those are the malefic planets: Scorpio, Mars, Saturn, and Jupiter is considered, you know, he's benevolent. He brings you luck, and so does Venus. So they're using Venus of Taurus and the Sun in Leo, and they don't want to, you know, this is Mars, Scorpio, and Saturn in Aquarius. So you've got to find that last leg. So new moon, and then on the 5th, and then we've got Venus and Mercury at the feet of Jesus, and then we've got little Mercury going retrograde until the 28th. So for the whole of the Olympics, Mercury will be going retrograde, and I will go through August coming up. We're going to have Mars on the wand. We're going to have the moon coming up with Mars and Jupiter for the 7-3. That is the Vesica Pisces passage. So this is the mascot of the Olympics. It's the noddy hat. It is not the true cap. The true cap is the crown at the top of your skull. That's why in Kill Bill they take off, it's the yolk, they take off the egg yolk. So here he's showing you the passage, the V, where the moon was. Dionysus, he works with the lunar, the moon, the Looney Tunes. Here is the Olympic torch. It's the piaf, the sparrow, and that's what Charlotte's horse was doing. It was doing piaf. The Ponce Brooks was given to the name of the Devil's Comet. All before there's Snoopy Dog holding And these are all the Olympic torches, which is just the back of your spine. It's just this bit here. And that takes you just to the eyes. You've got to get to the third eye. Third eye's at the back. What eyes are you using? So Jude, Pete and Paul and Jack, you've got to get through the gap. So here's Pierre, Paul and Jack. That's his name, showing you the two directions of the hands. This is Mercury rules the hands and the arms, and it's the two directions of the wheel. Sun and the moon, Amélie Poulain. It's just Appy showing you the black and the white, the red and the yellow. So black and white feminine, red and yellow masculine, and then when they merge together, you've got the gnome. You've got the gnome Montmartre in Paris, and you've got the birth of the Poulain. It's the little horse, the baby horse, the little prince, the black prince, the foal, the fowl. So here is the Dauphin, the little prince, and the SMURFS, the blue SMURFS. This is the little prince emerging VirgO, and that blue star, Spiker. So showing you the two hands holding the two temples in the middle. It's the top of your skull, the Aleph, Alpha Omega, Aleph Tav, the Mars and Venus, Venus Mars, the Appy, the apple, Appy, the god of fertility, and the, it's just the two directions of that wheel. The famous, I'm drinking all this beetroot, I'm all red, sorry. You've got the two sides of the coin here. I've read this so many times to you. English, religion, morality, loyalty, obedience to the laws, independence, personal security, justice, inheritance, protection, property, industry, national prosperity, happiness. And then French, atheism, PIERRE, rebellion, treason, anarchy, murder, equality, madness, cruelty, injustice, treachery, ingratitude, idleness, famine, national and private ruin, misery. So neither is best. You've got to find that middle point. So Diana, the coin. This is the yolk, the egg in French. A baby duck is coin coin. Where's my mummy? Corner, yeah, this is the last corners of the frame of the Dorian diaphragm. The sun and the moon should merge, the cornerstone. Got my big red fingers. Showing you the M. You got the two M's and another M. It's your Mary Magdalene, your Montmartre. Your 1313 to make the 26. All this was on the 26. So he begins lying down. He shows you the two hands. He's orange and blue. So this is the merging of the reds and yellow, air and fire. And then we've got the feminine axis, which is made blue. So that lying position, he's lying on the horizon, he's lying on the table, and she is showing you the she's showing you the crane, the crâne, the top of the cross. You've got this midpoint, and this is Jupiter in Taurus, loving all the food, the vice of avarice. So here are the two hands, the two directions. You've always got in the middle. In the middle, we've got this MNNM. So this is the Nemo. This is the Melody Nelson. This is the Nelly the elephant. You've got the middle. This is the middle rising, the one hand of Fatima. The two become the one hand of Fatima. So the Lamb of God. Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. So, you get off the roundabout, you can get off the circus when you can get into that middle point and you can observe the whole show. Algol, this is the box. the Boom Boom, the most famous French film, the Boom. Montmartre, when they had the power cut, they had the electricity, the big power cut in Paris, cutting all the wires of the trains. Eurostar, I've explained, is just D'Artagnan. They had the Eurostar strikes on the 21st of December, which is to show Jupiter showing Sagittarius northeast. He's owning the northeast axis between Sagittarius and Scorpio, the galactic gap. And then again, for the Olympic opening, they cut and all Paris was in black, but Montmartre. Only Montmartre was lit up. So that's showing you the 3 phases of the moon, the breast, the musk, the mosque. This is the gnome. This is Rumpelstiltskin. This is the god of fertility that you have to, face. And that is just the torso. It's the middle of the 2 sides of the torso field. This is the line. This is the spine. This is the back of your brain, as I keep explaining. Okay, we've seen enough pictures. That's all. I just wanted to do that little half an hour catch up. I love you, my darlings. Bye for now.